What's going on, y'all? Johnny J here with another Berserk video episode 23 right now. Man, it's been a journey. A lot of y'all stuck around. Some of y'all left, but the nice portion that stuck around, I appreciate y'all. But anyways, last episode they rescued your boy Griffith, but he was out of it. Tendons cut, veins cut up. He was already skinny as it is, and he looked completely like out of it, like anorexic. And he had the helmet on his head, and they didn't show the audience his face, but based off of Guts' reaction, it was like, oh, this is bad. They didn't even let Casca see it. That's how bad it was, right? So now it seems like, I think, was it the Army of Midland? That's the right army. Not sure. Memory's terrible. You could tell me something today, I'll forget it an hour later. But yeah, man, like that are they after him now, because Guts, Mister, I killed 100 men solo dolo, murked all the men that were guarding the castle or dungeon that Griffith was in. And it was dope to see that the princess was the source for how Casca and Griffith and the rest of the crew was able to, Casca and Guts and the rest of the crew was able to save Griffith. So that means that she still has some love for Griffith. So yeah, man, we only got 23, 24, 25. See what happened in episode 1. If you didn't, you should go on my channel and look that up. But I really want to know how this version of Guts ends up as that version of Guts that we saw. And also, I still remember that one guy that was like, things have changed since Griffith has taken over. So I still have it in me that Griffith is going to come back in some way. And then it's also the God of War. He had made a comment about the relationship between Guts and Griffith and how that these two are probably going to clash. And then also back at camp with the rest of the Hawks, you see all the demons. So, oh man, this is a lot. It's very interesting. So right now I'm gonna watch episode 23 and 24, and then I'm gonna do something a little different for episode 25 when that drops. But, I'm done with the talking, so I've been waiting for this. Let's get into it.
First unit, continue pursuing them.
What happened?
Hey! Don't move.
No!
Well, this is what's left of your command.
Damn.
This man will never fight again.
He is just
He will
bone.
never ride a horse nor hold a sword again. Why, he can't even stand on his own 2 feet. Archers!
See, Guts didn't want to hear that. You was talking too much. They know he fucked up.
No, I don't believe it. All that bullshit about Griffith and the Band of the Hawk.
Please! I know this is hard on everyone, but there is still some time before the others join us. Let me think this over until then. Well, I'd better go and check on Griffith.
Yep, that was his goal.
There's still time to play.
Oh wow, they're showing a young Griffith. That's interesting.
The sun's not down yet.
I've rested too long. It's not over yet. Not until I reach the end of that cobblestone path.
The egg. Now that's some bogus. He just so happened to find it.
Stay away! Who the hell are they? Enemy raiders?
Could that be the army of Midland?
I don't know. Griffith.
Wow, you know, I thought those were all eyes. I did not realize it were just eyes, nose, and mouth just all scrambled up. Now here comes a supernatural element. Episode 24. Let's go.
The time has come for the blessing. In this, our final chapter, our final destination. Enjoy this
That sounds kind of like the voice of the intro
glory.
of the show.
And you, our disciple, you are the chosen one. Here and now, appointed by God's own hand. When his fate was woven long ago, your lives were weaved with his. And now, you will complete your predestination as sacrificial offerings. What is it you fear? We who are infinitely more powerful than you? Or perhaps it is that you're afraid of your future.
Hey, wait. Where did everybody go? I thought we were all going to go see the castle. Oh well. Looks like I'm going alone. Oh no. I don't like the looks of this place. Are you? You're on your way to the castle to become a king, aren't you?
Oh, that was the boy that died.
I want to be a knight someday.
Now, child, look there. If you are indeed to make it to the castle, you'll need many, many more cobblestones to pave your road.
Why should I regret anything at this point? There's no use in repenting for my sins. It will make no difference. There's nothing I can give back to the dead to undo what I have done. This is my chosen path.
If that castle still gleams just as brightly in your eyes, then it is your obligation to lay the stones that surround you now. Let us begin the chant of offering. Stray from the path, and you will not be
I've seen
granted
that
the
symbol
black
somewhere
wings
else.
that will carry you to the heavens. The threads of destiny are now bound as one.
Oh, that's the mark. Oh, shit. It's coming together. Well, y'all, that right there is the end of episode 23 and 24. Man, I knew that mark looked familiar. Why did that mark look familiar? Why did that mark look so familiar? And then when it started like stamping on everyone, I was just like, oh! And it hit guts. I was like, oh, that's the mark that we saw at the beginning. That was in the first episode. But anyways, let's go back. Episode 23, like that was the lead up to like the dope shit, which is 24, and I'm pretty sure the doper shit is in 25. But anyways, 23 was dope because like it was the building blocks. Like you really got to see how fragile and weak Griffith was. And one thing that was dope about it too was that was the first time that I've seen in this series ever where, at least from what I remember, where we actually go and we get this look at Griffith's, I guess you could say, childhood. This is the first time we actually see him as a kid, and I think that dives more into 24, which I'll speak about later. But yeah, he was at that point when we saw that. Then we see like this, I guess you could say, alternate reality in his mind where he lives his life as a regular man. You know, in that life, Casca's his wife, and their son is named Griffith. I mean, his name Guts. They speak about a swordsman that they met a while ago, and it's so many different thoughts is playing in his mind, because maybe he's thinking like, okay, maybe if I went this way, I wouldn't have had this outcome. I wouldn't have wound up in the position that I'm in now. And he still has that mindset of owning his own kingdom, you know. And you see that throughout the end of episode 23, but it's more dominant in episode 24. And I really want to get into 24, but I gotta really get out the thoughts of 23. The only thing I didn't kind of like about 23 was the Baylit. It was cool to see it, but and I knew he was gonna come back because of the way that it was thrown out. But it was just kind of like, all right, that's too. It's too coincidental that he's in this little lake, river, whatever you want to call it, and he just so happens to find the Baylit that's there. I guess you can go to the thought that it was his destiny to get to that point, which is why the Baylit pretty much was there. But at the same time, maybe they could have done that a little bit better. But really no other complaints outside of that. That's just me being a little nitpicky. Now let's get into the good point, because 23 was really showing just the relationship with the impact that Griffith's current state is, fragile state is, on the rest of the Hawks. And then, like I said, it shows the other pieces that I was talking about earlier. And then now 24, man, that's where the demons come out. That's where it gets good. Yeah, man, 24 was cool because, like, in 24, they start tying stuff together. They bring back the Baylit. They bring back the concept, the idea that was thrown in 23 of him being this child. They bring back the idea of Griffith wanting to accomplish this goal, and he's in a position where he physically can't do it, but now he's being thrown in a direction that was already laid out before him, before he even knew it, of, all right, you're gonna get your own castle, your own kingdom, but you're pretty much stepping on everyone's hands, feet, heads just to get there, So yeah, it's a few questions I now have because of it's just so many things that's popping in my head. So first, the Baylit, when it pretty much assembled itself, and you see the eyes and the nose and the mouth, and it's tearing up, and then you also show Griffith. If you notice that scene where he's kind of like, I guess you could say tearing up, but it looks like he's tearing up, or it looks like blood is more so coming down from his face, and you see the connection was already there between the Beylit and between Griffith. I'm sorry, not Griffith. Yeah, Griffith. But it was one part early on, early on, when they first really introduced the Beylit, and Guts. He looked at it, and the eye opened up. So I wonder if that is ever going to come back. If anybody knows anything about that, if it's in the manga, just throw that down below, because I'm just curious about that. That was something that popped in my head when that Beylit opened up. But anyways, getting more into the episode and out of my thoughts, you see that all the demons that come by are saying, look, this is your path, and it's kind of like when they showed him the dream of him being a child, and going to that I guess you could say hell, and you see all the bones, and then you see the boy that wanted to be a knight early on. See, that's where it starts tying stuff back, because I was like, oh, that was a kid that died. And when they bring back the boy that died early on and he wanted to be a knight, I thought that was interesting, because it's like all the pieces are now coming together, and it's like, all right, look, this is the path that was laid out, and this is the way you're taking it. And it's kind of like fear-mongering him and taking it to some extent, because it's not even like they're showing too many positives or other routes that he can take to get there. So it's like, oh, this is the only way he can go. And in the end, he ultimately decides to go in that route. So I'm expecting for Griffith to make this demonic comeback, right? A question I do have, though, is in episode 22, where the rest of the Hawks get attacked by those demons, that's where we kind of do first see that's where the Beylit is first thrown out, and then it is, I think, in the water at that time. But I want to see what was the connection between those demons and the demons here. Like, is there any type of connection? Because they're not the same demons. They are completely different. So I don't know if anyone knows anything about the demons and that episode versus the ones here. Comment that down below, because it's kind of like one more episode. I don't know. Maybe they might tie them together. I have no clue. Also, what happened to those members? I mean, they were killed, but it was like no questions left. Like, what happened to them? No one said, hey, where's the rest of the team? Where'd they go? So that was a question that's still in my head, because it is only one episode, but then I do know that the manga extends much longer than these episodes, so it's just probably gonna be a lot of questions that I'm not gonna have answered. I'm just going through, because there's so much that happened in this short of time. Like I said, the mark that's now on all the members of the Hawks, even Guts, and we saw that same mark that Guts had at the beginning of the series, which is interesting. And it's now really like, what happened to the rest of the Hawks? Because Guts, he obviously survives, right? We know that because he's in episode 1. But what happened to the rest of the Hawks? They all get sacrificed, and if they did, why did Guts make it out? And then also the God of War demon, like, where is he in all this? He was the one that really predicted it, so shouldn't he somewhat? It would be cool to see him maybe in the background. Maybe we might see him in the next episode. But shoot, like, because they are bringing everything together. I do wish that they would have flushed out Griffith's backstory a little bit more, because now they introduced that idea. But I feel like they did it a little bit too late. Maybe we could have saw glimpses of it throughout, because this idea of him owning his own castle, his own kingdom, isn't a new concept. This is something that's been thrown out there earlier on. Maybe if we would have just started seeing glimpses of him when he's a kid, and him having these aspirations to get to that to the point, that he wants to get to, then I'll be like, oh, I have a bit of a deeper connection with that part of Griffith, because we saw that with Casca, we saw that with Guts, so we really didn't see that too much with Griffith. So I don't know. That was something else that popped in my head. But anyways, getting back into episode 24, maybe it was a few things I missed, but those were the main points. And man, I just can't wait. So definitely with 25, I'm gonna do something a little different for that one. So stay tuned for 25. The Guts theme song, I have to sample that. I have to, because I make beats, so I have to do something with that. Maybe that might be a thing I do with like these anime series. If it's a certain theme song that pops up throughout, I might have to do something with that. So definitely you be on the lookout for that. Oh yeah, also comment down below what anime series you guys want me to start watching next. I already have an idea or ideas on what series if that's a word, I might watch after this. So comment that down below. Like I said, I want them to be short and to the point, like this one is 25 episodes. We at that home stretch. But anyways, do what all the YouTubers tell y'all to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, follow me on my social media sites, links in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for staying with me on this journey. We at the home stretch. We at the last lap, the last 100 meters of this race. We gotta finish strong. Episode 25. Stay tuned. Johnny J. I'm out.